it is looking like 2018 is going to be a fantastic year for gaming, and this video is going to be about the 15 games I am most excited to play next year. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Now, this video is the first in what I would call the retrospective for 2017, looking forward to 2018. There's going to be a new video, maybe multiple videos every single day. But before we, look back at 2017 and crown a game of the year, I wanted to look forward to 2018 and detail the 15 games I'm looking forward to the most. Now, there are some games on this list that won't show up. Mainly Nintendo games. Honestly, I don't really know what's coming out for the Switch. I'm not well versed on Nintendo stuff, so there will be no Nintendo exclusives on this list. And there are a couple of caveats. Number one, the game has to be announced, right? So even though we know something like Forza Horizon 4 or Shadow of the Tomb Raider are coming in 2018, they're not officially announced, so I cannot include them. And if they were announced, Forza Horizon 4 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider would be in the list, but they're not announced, so I can't include them. And also, they need to be announced for 2018 officially, which means no Last of Us 2, no Death Stranding, no Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and no Final Fantasy VII Remake. So those are the rules. The game needs to be announced, and the game needs to be announced for 2018. So with that said, let us take a look at the top 15 games I'm looking forward to the most for next year. At the 15 spot, Shadow of the Colossus. Now, honestly, this game I would have ranked it in my top 10, but the reason it's number 15 is for the simple fact is that I've already played this game. So I wanted to include games that I've never experienced before. And the reason it's on the list at all is because Shadow of the Colossus is one of the greatest games ever made. Maybe the best game on the PS2 or close to it. So now that it is being remade for the PS4, I cannot wait to play this game again. I've only played it one time, so a lot of my memories are a little bit fuzzy of the game, so which is why I cannot wait to play this game. I believe it comes out on February 6th on the PS4, and that is why it's the number 15 slot and not higher, because it is a remake. I would rather put the newer stuff ahead of like a port. So that is number 15. And number 14, we have what many would consider probably the first indie title on the list, and that is Vampyr. Now, the reason I am interested in Vampyr is I kind of love the vampire setting, but I also am big fans of the developer Dotnod. They made cult classic Life is Strange, the original, which I adored greatly, and also the action kind of like fighter Remember Me, which I also really liked. But I really like the setting for this game. I like the action RPG thing they're kind of going for. I've really taken to watching the gameplay trailer, so that's why Vampyr is on the 14th spot. And number 13, the second indie game on the list, Ashen. Now, I've heard a lot about this game from people who have visited E3 last year and actually got to play it. A lot of them consider it to be the best game at E3 last year. Like my buddy Jess Corden, who I do Xbox 2 with, really took to Ashen, and I've watched a lot of the devs walkthroughs of the game. I really like the art style. I cannot wait to play this game. And people I respect and admired in the industry have privately DM'd me and said, Rand, this game you are going to love, because they know exactly the type of experience I'm looking for. So that's why Ashen is going to be number 13. Now, at number 12 here, we have a series that I have not played in a long time, and that is Kingdom Hearts 3. It's on this list because I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, and back when I played both of those games, I really enjoyed the series. Now, it's been a long time since Kingdom Hearts 2, and I haven't played any Kingdom Hearts games since, so you could kind of argue that the reason Kingdom Hearts is even in the top 15 is out of nostalgia. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. I am looking forward to seeing, how everything comes together in Kingdom Hearts 3, which is why it's on here. But I think I put it on here, like I said, for nostalgia purposes. The game looks great in all the trailers. I'm sure it'll play great, but the story's always kind of been a convoluted mess. And without me knowing any of the stuff happening in all the other games, my only Kingdom Hearts knowledge is from the first two, I feel I'm going to be a little bit lost. But I always did enjoy the combat, and, I am a big Disney fan, so, playing around with, like, Mickey and Goofy and Donald was always, fun back in Kingdom Hearts 1. So it's on here on the list. It's the nostalgia pick. I can't wait to play Kingdom Hearts 3. They delayed it to 2018, so that's why it's on here. Its official date's 2018, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets delayed till 2019. At number 11, we have Darksiders III. I am a huge fan of the Darksiders franchise. I loved me Darksiders 1. I really enjoyed Darksiders 2, although it really shouldn't have existed from a narrative standpoint. They are some really great action, hack-and-slash Metroidvania games. I believe Darksiders 1 is better than Darksiders 2. And honestly, I'm surprised we're even getting a Darksiders 3 because Visual Studios went down after THQ went under, but THQ Nordic brought them back. And now they're continuing on with the series with a new protagonist. I believe it's Strife, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. The first game you played as War. The second game you played as Death. I think the third one you play as the female Strife, if I'm not mistaken. She's got a whip. Looks really cool. Can't wait to see how they continue on with the Darksiders world and lore. Sign me up. I'll be there day one. All right, at the number 10, so we're getting into the top 10 now. At number 10, we have, yes, Crackdown 3. Now, I know I made a lot of people angry, upset, happy, sad, whatever emotion you felt when I made that infamous video about Crackdown 3 and how I felt Microsoft was doing the game a disservice by the way they were showing it off around at trade events. But I never said I wasn't anticipating the game. I always was. I just was questioning the way Microsoft was showing it. I am a huge fan of Crackdown. Crackdown 1 was one of my favorite games on the 360. Crackdown 2 was a great co-op experience, although not a great game. So I am really looking forward to, teaming up with my buddies and running through the town, collecting those orbs, getting more powerful. And then honestly, I want to see the cloud-based destruction that Microsoft has been talking about since this game was revealed originally back in 2014. It's time for this game to come out. It's going to be 4 years since the reveal. I want to see what you've been talking about, what you've been hyping up for years. I want to see those buildings crumble. I want to see, this huge experience technology thing that you've been pushing that separates it from all the other games out there. I want to see it. And that's why I'm still anticipating the game. That's why it's in my top 10, because despite, me questioning Microsoft's how they show the game off, I'm a fan of Crackdown. I always have been. So that's why it's on the list. Now, at number 9, we have A Way Out. Ever since they showed this game off at EA's EA Play back at this year's E3, it just struck a chord with me. It reminded me of Brothers, and it should, because it is made by the people who made Brothers. Now, Brothers is a game that came out on XBLA. It's also out on current gen as a remaster that I consider to be a fantastic game. I loved it. So this seemed up like a more grown-up version of Brothers. You have two people in a prison that you're trying to escape, and it's basically you have to play the game in co-op. One person controls the one character, the other person controls the other, and the game plays out. So, you won't get the full experience unless you actually play one playthrough as one guy, one playthrough as the other. And obviously, it's probably going to be a shorter game, but it's $30. It comes out in March. But man, something about this game just makes it seem really cool. And of course, the creator, Joseph, was just at the Video Game Awards when he gave his epic the Oscar speech and made Jeff Keighley almost cry on stage. It was great. But I'm really looking forward to playing A Way Out. Seems like a really cool co-op game. And number 8 would be considered another indie game, The Wolf Among Us Season 2. Now, my favorite Telltale game is the Borderlands game, Tales from the Borderlands, I think, was the best Telltale game ever made. It's a shame that we'll never see a sequel to it because it didn't make enough money. But my second favorite was The Wolf Among Us Season 1. And I thought we would never, ever get a sequel to that because I don't think it sold very well. So when they announced it today they announced it earlier this year that they were working on it for 2018, I really got excited because I love the characters, I love the world that they're in, I love the lore. It was more mature themed Telltale story. So I, for one, just cannot wait to get back into that world. Hopefully Telltale can kind of regain some of that magic that they've lost because some of their more recent releases, like Guardians of the Galaxy, have been quite subpar. But man, Bigsby and all those characters that are in this fantastical Wolf Among Us world, please don't let us down, Telltale. Make this game as awesome as people have wanted since they finished Season 1. Sailing in the number 7 position is Sea of Thieves, the pirate simulator from Rare and Microsoft. Now, every single time I have played the game, whether it's been in alpha or at E3 2016, I've enjoyed my time with it, right? Mike, I've always kind of questioned what you do in the game and how long you're going to be able to do it for, and how long that will be fun. Now, they recently just revealed the progression system. You can check out their YouTube channel where they go over that, and they did a mixer stream, so a lot of those questions are answered. Now, this game's not going to really have an in-depth story, which is, kind of what I look for in a lot of my games, but PUBG has kind of taught me a different lesson because I'm still addicted to PUBG, and I'm addicted to how different each one of the games can play out from the other ones. It's still fun to play. And I see a little bit of that in Sea of Thieves. One day you hop on and you get together with your friends and you go out on your ship and you loot an island. The next day, something else entirely may happen and it might be epic. And I think that is what Rare is going for. But I'm excited to finally try it out after, hearing about this game for what's going to seem like 3 years now. So it's on the number 7 position. It comes out May 20th, so we don't have that long to wait. So I'm ready to see what people have said is basically Microsoft's version of Destiny, become Pirate Legend. So can't wait to check the game out soon enough. And now coming at the number 6 spot is Ubisoft's Far Cry 5. Now, I'm a huge fan of Far Cry. Far Cry 3, though, is still my favorite. Far Cry 4 did kind of feel like Far Cry 3.5. And I'm hoping that Far Cry 5 can be the next evolution of the franchise. I'm a little bit conflicted here because I don't want it to just be Far Cry 3 yet again. And maybe this is the game where it's like, they have no more ideas. Far Cry is kind of done for me, but I like the setting in Montana. I kind of dig the cult vibe that got going out there. So I'm really interested in getting back in the game and playing it in full co-op where everything is shared. That's always kind of been the thing about Far Cry, was that you could play it in co-op, but you didn't really want to because it didn't really save it for the other players, so there was no point in doing it. But now they finally fixed it so you can play together. This is what I wanted from Far Cry. It took 2 games to get there, but I'm just worried if the game's going to be more like Far Cry 3 and not like the next evolution of the series it needs. So we'll find out about all this in Far Cry 5. And, if it plays out like 3, I probably won't be anticipating 6. But if it's like the next step, then maybe my love for Far Cry will continue. And at the number 5 spot, we have Detroit Become Human. Now, I've never played any of Quantic Dream's games. I didn't play Beyond Two Souls, or I didn't play Heavy Rain, even though I own both those games on my PlayStation, and I want to get them at some point. This game seems really interesting to me. Now, I've said it before, it looks like a high-budgeted, like, Telltale game, and I really like the whole Android angle, like the Blade Runner, or like iRobot, like a artificial intelligence getting sentient and like going against its programming. I find that to be pretty interesting. So I love the gameplay demonstration they showed at PSX. It was the only thing worthwhile watching at PSX. So I cannot wait to play this. All the different scenarios they have, where you have the robot trying to talk down the robot hostage taker, or the robot with the drunk dad who is potentially abusing his daughter. Like, all those different scenarios make me really interested in trying this game out. Hopefully we get a release date soon, but I cannot wait to play Detroit Become Human. Now, number 4 spot, we have Metro Exodus. I love the Metro games. Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. I played both those games multiple times on the 360 and the Xbox One, and I cannot wait to see how they continue the series. You know, the reveal trailer at Xbox's E3 was fantastic, although a little bit fake. You know, like, none of that stuff really seemed like true gameplay, but it doesn't really matter because I have faith in the developer to make a great game, as they've proven their last 2 games were fantastic. So I'm there day 1, man. Like, I'm there day 0. This game is going to be great. I have no doubts in my mind that Metro Exodus is going to be a lovely and fantastic experience. Cannot wait for whenever that game comes out. And I know it's supposed to come out this year. They said 2018. I'm hoping, maybe a little bit before the holidays. So I'm hoping around like September, October. But can't wait for Metro Exodus. And here we go with the top 3. At number 3, we have Red Dead Redemption 2 from Rockstar Games. It's been a while since Rockstar has made a game. They discovered microtransactions in Grand Theft Auto Online and basically haven't made a game in, 4 or 5 years now? Or ever since 2013's release of Grand Theft Auto, so basically 4 years. So this will be the 5th year, and they're finally putting out Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, Red Dead Redemption 1 is a amazing game. It's a game I finished front to back, including all the DLC, got all the achievements, did all that stuff for it. Has a great story, a great setting, and it looks like Red Dead Redemption 2 is gonna have the same thing. It's Rockstar. They don't make bad games. I'm just a little bit worried about how much of the online is going to be forced into this game, as I know they're all about those online interactions and microtransactions and things like that. So that's maybe why it's not as high as 1 or 2, but you can't deny the storytelling, the gameplay power that Rockstar has when creating their games. So Red Dead Redemption 2 at number 3. And it's going to look fantastic. It might be the best looking game out for PS4 Pro and Xbox One X next year. Rockstar they always deliver, man. And at number 2, we have God of War. Ever since this first trailer they showed off at 2016 E3, I really like how they've moved away from the Greek mythology and they're moving into Norse mythology. I'm not necessarily a fan of the over-the-shoulder combat, but hey, things have to change. And I'm not a fan of the kid always going around Kratos, but we'll see where that goes from a storytelling perspective. But everything about this game looks great. The game looks phenomenal. The combat looks interesting. I'm a fan of Norse mythology, so I can't wait to see, Kratos run into Odin or Loki or Thor, any of the gods of the Norse mythology. I mean, we've already seen him running into the serpent. I cannot wait to play God of War. Now, I played God of War 1 and God of War 2. I'm going to be playing God of War 3 pretty soon to get myself up on this. But, man, this game just looks fantastic. And I know recently they said, 25 to 30 hours? That seems like a long time for a God of War game, but either way, bring it on. 2018 looks like it's gonna have a great year. And finally, we've run through 2 to 15, a bunch of PlayStation exclusives, a couple Xbox exclusives, some great multiplats that are going to be there. But the game I'm looking forward to the most that has been officially announced for 2018 and also officially announced, period, is SpiderMan from Insomniac Games. Now, I'm a huge fan of Insomniac, always have been, always will be. It's a crime to video games that there isn't a sequel to Sunset Overdrive 2, But man, ever since that first trailer came out for Spider-Man, I've been on it day one. When they showed off the gameplay earlier this year at E3, it just reaffirmed my belief that this game is going to be amazing. And yeah, that pun is intended there. The combat looks right out of like Arkham, which I'm a huge fan of, the Batman games. I'm just a little bit curious of how much QTEs there will be in it, although because in the demo there was quite a bit. But either way, Spider-Man is my most anticipated. I can't wait for that game to come out. If I had to guess, it'll be out around June. I'm sure they'll probably want to tie in some promotion to the Infinity War movies that will be coming out in May. But either way, Spider-Man is my most anticipated game of the year. So that is my list, my top 15 games, exclusives for Sony, exclusives for Microsoft, and multiplats. Make sure you guys post below what games you are looking forward to, your top 15 for next year, because it's going to look like, it's going to be a great year. And that's not even, all the games announced for 2018, because stuff will always get announced in the lead up. We don't even know what's going to be announced at the back half. Like, for instance, there's rumors that Bad Company 3 will be coming out next year, and the next Call of Duty, whatever that will be, and maybe Halo 6, Forza Horizon 4, who knows what other games will be coming out. But those are my top 15 for games officially announced for 2018. Let me know what your list is. I'm kind of interested in seeing what people have to, what games they're excited to play. And with that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Share this out on social media like Twitter and Facebook. I really would appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel if you are new or you haven't already. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I do drop new videos. Man, it's been a long year. It's been a great year. I appreciate all you guys hanging with me and watching all the videos and showing up to the live streams. Hope everybody has a great rest of the day, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.